like to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Are you a veteran?
Yes.
During your service in the military, you were taught how to attack people, correct?
No, not really. I mean,
But in the military, you were asked to pass physical trainings, correct?
yes, I was taught basic self-defense and how to handle firearms, but never anything like this.
But then you know how to attack people and defend yourself.
Objection, Your Honor. Prejudicial matter is affirmative.
Your Honor, this is a part of the witness background.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate on cross. I think that she'll have some leeway now in general, but she have some leeway, but mock trial rules also allow some leeway on cross.
Okay. Would you like me to repeat my question again?
Yes.
So you learned how to attack people and defend yourself in the military.
Well, I suppose with never anything like this.
That's just a yes, you learned it.
Yes, but never anything like what happened.
Mr. Jones, you also know how to use a gun, correct?
Yes.
And that's a part of the training in the military.
Yes.
And you were taught to use various kind of weapons, including dangerous guns.
Oh, yes, firearms. Not much.
After discharge from the military, did you work as a police officer?
No.
And instead you work as a janitor?
Yes.
And you deal with cleaning chemicals
Yes.
for 10 years
Yes.
on a daily basis.
Yes.
Some chemicals leave odors with them, correct?
Well, I suppose that I usually take showers and wash my clothes.
But you do it for 10 years.
Yeah.
You use latex glove when you're dealing with these chemicals.
I usually just generally use cleaning gloves, so yeah, I suppose.
You dated Kelly Morgan when you are working as a janitor, correct?
Yes, I do.
For 18 months.
Yeah.
It's a close relationship. For 18 months.
Yeah, back then.
And you're familiar with her schedule.
Back then, what?
You're familiar with her size.
Well, yeah,
And you're familiar with her house.
back then, I was familiar with the house.
And you-
Don't know if she changed it.
You also know how to drive Kelly Morgan's car.
Yeah, but I didn't really like to back then, and kind of like that.
But this is a yes to my question.
Yeah,
So after 18 months of close relationship, Kelly Morgan was the one who broke up with you.
I mean, now it's 2 years ago, I don't really remember exactly what happened with this breakup, it doesn't mean much to me.
Mr. Jones, she broke up with you on the October of 2013, correct?
Yes,
And it's about a year instead of 2 years.
well, I mean, now it's almost 2 years,
About a year and a half.
long time ago.
Let's talk about your night on May 16, 2014. You said you called your girlfriend twice, correct?
Yeah.
And the second one is around 10 o'clock on the evening. You call your girlfriend using a mobile phone.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm on the phone.
You can call anybody from any place using a mobile phone.
Yes,
And your house is 10 minutes away from Kelly Morgan's house.
yes,
However, you mentioned that you were at home that night, correct?
I was.
Is your children with you?
No, my children were with my network.
Is Jesse Knox with you?
No, she lives in Alabama for the time being.
Is any friend of yours with you?
No, I lived alone. Why?
Because nobody can prove that you were at home on evening around 10:30 that night, correct?
I suppose not, but I was.
A few hours later, a detective came knock on your door, correct?
Yes.
And he took a picture of your hand.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, now I'm doing what is remarked as People's Exhibit numbers we entered into evidence on the direct of Detective Riley Crawford. Isn't this the picture the detective took of your hand?
Yes, I believe it.
And there was a cut on your left index finger.
Yes.
You mentioned that you got that cut on the same day Kelly Morgan was attacked.
Yes, I worked that day. I was putting a chair together.
You mentioned that you were pulling a chair and you got that cut.
Yes.
Is there anybody with you when you got that cut?
Well, there were some people in the office, I think.
But did anybody know that you got that cut?
I don't think so. I wasn't really
Did
talking
anybody
about it.
treat your cut for you?
No, it was just a little cut.
So only the detective know you got that cut.
I suppose.
And nobody can prove that you got that cut while working with a chair.
Well, there was a chair delivered today.
But nobody can prove it.
I suppose not.
Mr. Jones, during the court this morning when Detective Crawford was on the stand, correct?
Yeah, that was,
You heard there's a flaw found in Miss Morgan's visiting card.
yeah,
You also heard there's a cut on the left index finger of the glove.
yeah.
And then your cut is on your left index finger.
Yes, but it was on the side closest to the
That's
middle,
your left index finger.
but it wasn't exactly.
So is this a yes to my question?
It was on the same finger, but not the same place.
You also heard that attack on Kelly Morgan is very brutal and violent.
I suppose so, yeah.
Mr. Jones, you also heard that blood type B positive was found as well.
Yeah.
And isn't it true that your blood type is B positive?
Yes, but I remember.
I'm
it
not
was also
asking you
Kelly.
about Kelly Morgan. Isn't it true that your blood type is B positive?
Can you ask a question?
Isn't it true that your blood type is B positive?
Yes, it's mine too.
Thank you. That's the further question.
Thank you.
May I treat the supervisor? Thank you.
Redirect?
Mr. Jones, in basic military training, were you taught to attack innocent people?
No, never.
What were you taught?
I was just taught how to, handle my weapon and carry myself on a battlefield and just make sure that my mess kit was clean, things like that.
Do you work with any harsh chemicals?
No, I just use, Windex and Breeze and things like that. I don't work in a factory or anything. I just clean buildings.
Were there any records kept having to do with the chair that you put together at work?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that there was a receipt given that said that the chair was delivered that day.
And finally, where were you on the night of May 16th?
I was at home calling my girlfriend, like I always do.
Thank you. No further questions.
You can step down. That's next call, next witness.
Hey, Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to Sam. Would you introduce yourself and spell your last name for the record?
My name is Dr. Pascal, DOL and SKY.
And what is your profession?
I'm a dermatologist in Wilmington, Ohio.
And how long have you been a dermatologist?
I've been a dermatologist for about 19 years now.
And what is the field of dermatology?
Well, simply put, dermatology is the medical study, diagnosis, and treatment of various conditions pertaining to the skin, hair, and nails. One might seek a dermatologist for treatment to various skin conditions or certain skin injuries such as an electrical burn one would get from touching an exposed water, for instance.
And Dr. Lansky, what are the requirements in order to become a dermatologist?
Well, one would obviously have to go to their early medical school and get their medical degree, after which they would have to complete a 2-year internship in internal medicine, complete rigorous written and oral exams in order to become a certified dermatologist by the American Board of Dermatology, and finally complete a 4-year residency training in dermatology.
And have you completed all of these requirements?
I have, yes.
Your Honor, at this time, we'd like to admit Dr. Pat Lansky as an expert in the field of medicine with a specialization in dermatology.
State's counsel.
No objections, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Lansky, why are you here in court today?
I was asked to give my professional opinion regarding red markings on an individual in a series of photographs and determine where the red markings came from.
What, if any, information were you provided with?
I was provided with the information that the individual had claimed could have been attacked by a pair of electric bus that emitted an electrical current.
Was there anything else?
Yes, that the photographs were taken 5 hours after the incident, 5 the Loganville Police Department at the Harmony Hill Hospital Emergency Room.
Your Honor, at this time, I approach the witness who has been previously marked as prosecution one, exhibit 1A, B, and C.
Sure.
Your Honor, would you like a copy?
If you have any comments.
Now, Dr. Lancey, do you recognize these documents?
I do, yes.
What are these documents?
These are the documents, these are the photographs I was asked to examine and determine where the red markings came from.
And would you say this is a fair and accurate representation of the photographs you analyzed prior to this hearing?
Yes, they are.
And can you explain what you saw in photograph 1A?
Photograph 1A is of the individual's lower back. On it, as well as a few abrasions, you can see the irregularly shaped inflammations which I hypothesized to be urticaria.
And can you explain what you saw in photograph 1B?
Photograph 1B is of the individual's side and lower abdomen. On it, you can see a few abrasions as a result of dermatography, as well as a contusion.
And can you explain what you saw in photograph 1C?
Photograph 1C is of the individual's elbow. On it, you can see a laceration as well as another abrasion.
Now, Dr. Lancey, you have mentioned urticaria. What is urticaria?
Well, simply put, urticaria is a series of inflammations formed on the skin as a result of an exposure to an irritant or such as an allergen. It's more commonly known as hives, and in photograph 1A, a perfect example of how it looks like would be these irregularly shaped inflammations.
And Dr. Lancey had also mentioned dermatographia. What is dermatographia?
Dermatographia is the skin's reaction by swelling to when it is scratched. Another good example would be in photograph 1B, where you have this raised abrasion on the individual skin.
Now, Dr. Lancey, have you reached a medical conclusion about these photographs?
I have, yes.
And what was that conclusion?
Well, it is within my professional opinion and to a degree of reasonable degree of medical certainty that the red markings on the individual's lower back were the result of dermatographia, urticaria, or scratches.
And what led you to this conclusion?
Well, when I examined the photograph, I took note that the red markings on the individual's lower back displayed signs consistent with those of common skin conditions, such as the ones I mentioned. I also found no evidence of a burn of any kind.
Was there anything else?
Well, since there was no evidence of a burn, it clearly indicates that a periodic, a device that emitted an electrical current never came into contact with the individual's skin. I also noted that the markings on the individual's lower back were not interdistant.
So, Dr. Delancey, are you saying these markings are a result of skin conditions?
Absolutely.
No further questions, Your Honor. However, I'd like to reserve the time for your if necessary.
Very well. Cross?
Is it true that Mr. Jones is a patient of yours?
Yes, about 5 years ago.
However, you do not know Miss Morgan, correct?
No, not.
And you are here to give your medical opinion, correct?
Yes.
And you never met with Miss Morgan in person?
No.
And your diagnosis was based on 3 photographs, correct?
The photographs provided ample evidence, so yes.
And you diagnosed Miss Morgan's wounds as dermatographia of urticaria, correct?
Yes.
And urticaria can be caused by allergies, correct?
And other skin irritants.
But not once did you ever look into her medical history to see if she was allergic to anything, did you?
No, I did not.
And dermatographia typically disappears after 30 minutes, correct?
Well, it is a lifelong skin condition, but for the actual
physician that treated her, he viewed her torso in person, correct?
I believe so.
And is it true that you and the doctor had conflicting opinions?
Yes.
And this doctor's diagnosis was that the taser marks were possibly taser marks?
Well, the doctor does not have the 19 years experience in dermatology as I do, and it may be easy to misdiagnose these common skin conditions as burns.
And Dr. Lansky, you're being paid to be here today, correct?
Yes, for my professional services regarding my professional opinion.
And what is your fee?
About $3,000, $1,000 per hour.
And you're being paid by Casey Jones's attorney today, correct?
To provide my professional opinion or professional conclusion as to what I think the mark is already asked.
There are no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Attorney Reed Wright?
Yes, sir. Dr. Lansky, why are you being paid to be here in court today?
Well, I am being paid for my professional services and also to provide my professional conclusion as to what I believe the red markings are.
And how many times have you diagnosed skin conditions?
Countless times.
And what are some sources of emotional distress?
Well, some sources would be, for instance, lying, for instance, is a good one for them.
And is Dr. Bernardi a dermatologist?
No.
No further questions.
Thank you. Let's take call this next witness.
It's time for the closing.
Thank you. Are you ready to close?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I reserve time for rebuttal?
Sure.
May it please the court, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Thank you for your time and attention to this very important matter here. Today, the people have shown you a collage composed of pieces of artwork or evidence that lead to one face and two crimes. The night of May 16, 2014, a masked attacker, armed with a dangerous weapon, entered Miss Morgan's home without permission. A violent struggle happened, during which Miss Morgan's body was stopped all over with that weapon emitting electric current. The defense has called into question several of these facts, insinuating that Miss Morgan has made false accusations about the details of the attack. But the facts are clear. Not only do the attacker's body size, distinct chemical smell, and specially ordered shoes match Casey Jones' profile, but Miss Morgan actually pulled off the attacker's mask. Who was behind the mask? Casey Jones. It was only after Miss Morgan escaped that she was able to contact the police department. Soon after the police arrived, Miss Morgan realized her car had been stolen. The next day, Detective Crawford found the car and retrieved a latex glove, but not just a glove. A glove with the latex from the left index finger ripped and stained with E positive blood. The same blood type that belongs to Casey Jones. The same blood type that only 8% of the population have. It was further discovered that Casey Jones had a fresh wound conveniently located at nearly the same spot as the blood stain on the latex glove. Now that you're familiar with the incident, I'd like to outline the people's burden of proof and show that the people have fulfilled the burden. The facts today review the following. First, the defendant was not a police officer acting in the line of duty. Second, the defendant had reasonable knowledge, having been in a past romantic relationship with Miss Morgan, that she was going to be present during the time of the attack, and knowingly entered Miss Morgan's stolen place. Third, Miss Morgan's description of the weapon used to batter her is confirmed by Detective Crawford to be a stun gun, which is stipulated as a dangerous weapon. Although Pat Dolanski just claimed that none of Miss Morgan's wounds can be caused by a stun gun, he has never physically examined Miss Morgan, whereas as stipulated, Dr. Bernardi, who examined Miss Morgan's wounds immediately after the attack, diagnosed them to be electrical burns caused by a stun gun. Therefore, the fact that the defendant, while armed with a dangerous weapon, used force on Miss Morgan is evident. facts above, the people have proven that Casey Jones committed home invasion. The people have also proven to you that Casey Jones intentionally caused bodily harm on Miss Morgan, as shown in People's Exhibit 1A, B, and C. And while causing that bodily harm, Casey Jones was masked in such a manner as to conceal his identity. Therefore, the people charged Casey Jones with aggravated battery. Now you might be asking, why Casey Jones? Well, first, he had the opportunity, a lack of alibi. Although the defense just argued that his phone record can act as a proof as to his whereabouts, it is invalid, considering the fact that his phone can be taken anywhere with him, even on the way to Miss Morgan's home. Second, he had the means, the knowledge and training of using dangerous weapons. And finally, he had the motive, an intense relationship broken off by Miss Morgan. Moreover, we have a bloody glove, an eyewitness account from the gravers as stipulated of somebody looking like Casey Jones driving in Miss Morgan's car immediately after the attack. And most importantly, we have a positive identification of Casey Jones. Miss Morgan ripped off his mask. And thank goodness she did. Because if she didn't have the strength to fight back, she might not be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the people have shown you the truth, and that leads to Casey Jones and his crimes. Now it is your responsibility to protect the natural rights granted to all human beings. Therefore, please seriously consider the evidence and the testimonies, and find Casey Jones guilty. Thank you.
That's spoken.
Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, when a collage is missing a few pieces, such as a taser or a ski mask no one can find, or a wound that doesn't match a tear, can you definitively identify without a doubt what that collage is? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, after hearing the arguments by both sides presented here today, it is evident that Casey Jones did not commit the crimes of home invasion and aggravated battery on the night of May 16th. On May 16th, Casey Jones worked his two jobs as a janitor. He went home that night, called his girlfriend, and did not leave his home until the police abruptly arrived at his doorstep at 2:30 in the morning. Now today, the prosecution has the burden of proof. They have to prove that Casey Jones committed these two crimes beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt. To sustain the charge of home invasion, the prosecution must prove that 1, Casey Jones was not a police officer acting within the line of duty, that he knowingly entered the dwelling place of another, and that when he did so, he knew or had reason to know that one or more persons was present. He did so armed with a dangerous weapon, and that he used said weapon forcefully on Kelly Morgan, a person within the dwelling place. To sustain the charge of aggravated battery, the prosecution must prove that Casey Jones intentionally committed bodily harm to Kelly Morgan, and that he did so while hooded, masked, or robed in such manner as to conceal his identity. Now to show you that the prosecution has failed to meet these provisions in today's case, allow me to recount the testimony and facts that you have heard today. Kelly Morgan claims that Casey Jones broke into her mobile home and attacked her, but not one person who Kelly Morgan has relayed this story to has been able to provide the same details, the same coherent sequence of events as her. How can the prosecution ask you to convict Casey Jones beyond a reasonable doubt when Kelly Morgan admitted to mistakes being made throughout this investigation? You then heard from Detective Riley Crawford. What you heard was that Detective Crawford did not find a ski mask, a taser, or any other evidence leading to Casey Jones during his investigation. With no taser, there is no weapon to sustain home invasion. And with no ski mask, there is no identity concealment to sustain aggravated battery. What Detective Crawford did find, however, was that the wound on Casey Jones' hand did not match the tear in the glove of Miss Morgan's attacker. They were on two opposite sides of the index finger. We then heard from Casey Jones himself, the honorably discharged veteran, so in love with his fiancée that he called her twice a night, every night like clockwork. Casey Jones has an alibi. He was on the phone with the woman he loves around the time of the attack. What he doesn't have, ladies and gentlemen, is a motive. Casey Jones has moved on. Casey Jones is getting married soon. Before the police arrived at his doorstep at 2:30 in the morning, Kelly Morgan was out of his life for good, until she dragged him back in. Finally, you heard from Dr. Pat Delansky, a certified dermatologist and an expert in the field, who testified that in his professional opinion, the marks on Kelly Morgan were not caused by a taser. They were just the symptoms of a common skin condition. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a lonely, obsessive woman who cannot get over the fact that her ex-boyfriend has moved on and she hasn't. Casey Jones just wants Kelly Morgan out of his life once and for all, but she just keeps bringing him back in. We have shown that the prosecution has failed to meet their provisions today. They want you to convict Casey Jones beyond a reasonable doubt when Kelly Morgan has admitted to mistakes being made. Well, mistakes sound like reasonable doubt to me, ladies and gentlemen. And because of this, we ask you to return with a verdict of not guilty on both counts. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there time left for rebuttal? Okay, rebuttal?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the defense has just argued that Casey Jones was at his house on the night of the attack. But there is indeed a lack of alibi. They have also argued that we have a lack of evidence, and that Casey Jones had no motive to attack Miss Morgan. But let me remind you, Miss Morgan was the person who broke off the relationship. And Casey Jones was indeed angry at that breakup. And in fact, without a mind reader, we can't really determine how Casey Jones was thinking about that relationship. But we do have evidence that linked the attack to Casey Jones. We have a bloody glove, Dr. Bernardi's diagnosis, pictures of Miss Morgan's wounds, the Graver's eyewitness account, and most importantly, a positive identification of Casey Jones. Miss Morgan ripped off his mask. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, please recognize that the people, through the evidence, the people have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Casey Jones did in fact commit home invasion and aggravated battery. And know that your decision determines the future safety of a fellow human being. Please find Casey Jones guilty. Thank you.
You guys done your time sheets, can you bring them up here? Steve, you guys need to take the law test?
Yes.
You guys, okay, and try to hurry this up.
Oh, we don't.
We don't.
We took our